Hi, Jumpstart friends. Today we're going to talk about The Little Red Hen Makes a Pizza. Does everyone remember this book? Great. So now in this book, can anyone tell me a little bit about what happened? Right. The little red hen wanted to make a pizza, but as she was making her pizza, what did we notice happened? She needed a lot of different things, right? So the first thing she needed was a pizza pan. And she went to the store and bought her pizza pan and some other things like a large mixing bowl and a pizza slicer. And then she needed some flour for the dough. So she had to go to the supermarket. And after she went to the supermarket, she realized that she didn't have mozzarella cheese. So she had to go back to the store to be able to buy cheese. So now, what was happening here? Every time she needed a different ingredient, she had to go to the store. Why do you think that happened? Right, she didn't make a list. So today, we're going to talk about making a list and going to the grocery store to get all of the different items you need. So when Little Red Hen needed to make the pizza, she was missing ingredients. And now ingredients are one part of a mixture of items. So for example, the tomato sauce that Little Red Hen had, let's go back to the very first page. The tomato sauce is one ingredient out of the whole mixture of ingredients that make up a pizza. Another ingredient was the cheese, and then there's dough, and then you could have toppings such as pepperoni, mushrooms. Some people like extra cheese. So what did we say could have helped the Little Red Hen? She could have made a list. And now a list is a series of things placed one after another in a written form. So here I have a big list. This is what the Little Red Hen should have wrote out, right? So the first item she needed was the pizza pan. Then she needed the flour, and then she needed the mozzarella cheese. Now, I also wrote some other things that she bought for her pizza, such as pepperoni, the pizza slicer, some oil, and some salt. So when the Little Red Hen went to buy all of these things, she went to a whole bunch of different stores, right? For the pizza pan, she went to the hardware store. For the flour, she went to the supermarket. And for the mozzarella cheese, she went to a delicatessen. So now, all of these items are things that she could have found at the supermarket. And a supermarket is a store selling foods and household items. Another word for supermarket is grocery store. So she could have gone to the supermarket or the grocery store to get all of these different things. But instead, she went to many different stores and made it very hard for herself. So for now, we're going to put this aside and we'll look at that later. So next, when we go to the grocery store, we usually go to the grocery store because why? We go to the grocery store to buy food and things that we ran out of. So here, I have a few things that I need to get for my house. I have an empty milk container. I have an empty can of beans, black beans, and I have an empty apple juice. I have some empty chips and an empty cereal box. So when I go to the grocery store, I have to make a list. So here's my list. And I put some other things on my list that I can't show you right now, like apples, and I put some chicken. And when I go to the store, I'm going to take my list so that I can make sure I get all of my groceries without forgetting. And now groceries are food and household items that you buy at the store to bring home. So now everyone's going to be able to make their own grocery list with another Jumpstart friend in another video. But here is mine. And now if you look closely, the list has different categories. Let's read them. This one says fresh fruits and vegetables department. This one says meat department. This one says bakery, frozen foods, dairy department, canned goods, and other items. So I put the appropriate item that I need in the right category. So when you go to the store, it's very easy to find all the things you need because the grocery stores are organized by aisles. Now, an aisle is a passage between shelves in the supermarket. So when I go to the store, I'll be able to go to the right aisle to get my stuff, the same way that the little red hen was able to find everything she needed easily. So now here's a picture of an aisle. And what do we notice up here? That's a sign. And on the sign, it tells you what is in the aisle so that you don't have to walk up and down, all of the aisles trying to find what you need. Each aisle will have a name such as produce, which is fresh fruits and vegetables. Here's what that looks like. See how it says produce? And then there's all of the fruits. There's some vegetables back here. And then there's dairy, which are products such as milk and butter and cheese and yogurt. Now here I have some pictures of some other things. So here is the dairy. It says dairy up here, and there's all the milks, yogurts, sour cream. There's butter on this end. And we have the frozen food sections, which will have things like chicken nuggets and french fries, or waffles and frozen pizzas, or ice cream. And look, here's what the signs will look like. And it'll say things like canned veggies, canned beans, ethnic foods, rice, soup and broth, and kosher foods. And here's more pictures of what the signs look like in the supermarket. They usually hang on top of the aisle so that they're easy to see and read. So now that we went over that, sometimes you could find sales in the grocery ad. So now an ad is to make people want to buy something. So when you look at it, let's look close. Here, you could buy, you see this? Here, you could buy 4 boxes of pasta for $5. So that's a sale in the grocery ad to make people want to buy the pasta. Everyone is going to be able to look at it at a grocery ad, and they're going to be able to cut things out to add to their grocery list with one of our other Jumpstart friends. Once you pick up all of your groceries and you're ready to leave the store, where do you go? What do you have to do before you leave the store? You have to pay for all of your food. So now how do you pay for all of your food? You have to go to the cash register, and the cashier, who is a person whose job it is to take the money when you're going to pay for it, that's where you go. You go to the cashier, and they have a cash register. So here's what a cash register looks like. And here you see the cashier checking out all of the food for the man so that the man can pay for the food and go home with everything that he had on his list, right? Hopefully he didn't forget anything like Little Red Hen. I had a really fun time talking about the supermarket and what happened in the story with Little Red Hen. Did you? Well, that's great. Well, I can't wait to see you next week. Bye!